I don't think here on the local front. A little change in the weather today. It is November 1st now. So we're now here at that most important time, I do believe. We got high fives in the building, chest bump. Let's hug it out. Mm, mm. If you haven't had a chance yet to visit our website, please do so at www.dremontez.com. Also, you can follow us on YouTube. We're trying to get those subscriptions up. So it's Dre Montez on YouTube. Also on Twitter at W2B Dre Montez, Facebook Dre Montez. And we also have a page for our podcast, Who's to Blame the Podcast. It's for a Facebook page for Who's to Blame Podcast, Instagram, Who's to Blame the Podcast as well. If you are celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating an anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well. If you're off work today, because you kind of overdid it on Halloween, way to go for you. Way to go for you for sure. Good job. Good job. Let's get through our pillars of the day. We're going to let it go. Ignore them. Give it time. Don't compete. Stay calm. It's on you. And laugh. That laughing is definitely key for sure. Today on the show, we're going to talk about dealing with rejection. Major League Baseball World Series and the NBA doesn't growth of their athletes. I don't know if you watched the games last night in the NBA, just from the commentating aspect from TNT presentation yesterday. I just want to discuss that a little bit more for sure. Definitely want to get involved in that. But again, I hope everyone had a very safe and nice Halloween. You get the babies out, they do the trunk or treat. I saw the creativity in the costumes in the sports world from the weekend to last night. And I'm telling you, these sports fans, I want to know what these sports fans do for a job. I'm looking at what they're seating at. I'm looking at what they're wearing. And I just want to know, what do these people do for a living? I mean, it looked like they spend thousands of dollars in their costume, thousands of dollars in there. I'm not talking about the famous people. I'm talking about people just going to sporting events for sure. Yeah, so we're going to start the show off today with dealing with rejection. How do you deal with rejection? Whether it's relationships, job, financial stability, need versus want. What are you having a hard time? What do you do to deal with rejection? I've seen a lot of documentaries and a lot of TV shows and a lot of segments of dealing with people in the terms of being successful on what are some of their keys or their track record or their path to their growth that they're on. And a lot of them say about being rejected is to face it head on. You can't run from rejection. You have to face it head on and necessarily have a actual game plan. Have a plan. It doesn't hurt anyone to write anything down first. Get your notes together. Get your bullet points in there. Whatever you got to say, write it down first. Then take a look at it and see was there something that you missed. And in business sense, if you're in sales or anything, sometimes you can give too much information. And some clients or future clients or potential clients don't like all that banter and talk. They want you to get to the point, get straight to the point. Because a lot of what we learned is from the days of resumes when people would throw away your resume if it was more than one page or won't read the complete email because it's too long. But getting to the point, I think that can be one of the things that can cure a rejection phase that you're going through when it does happen. If you do face something like that, if you wonder why this didn't go through or that didn't go through, maybe it's in the presentation. But dealing with rejection, it can be a learning curve. It definitely can, the way you handle it. And I think it makes you for a better person when you get more truthful with yourself and by you're being rejected. And when a person tell you why they're rejecting you, to me, it makes it a little bit more comfortable to have an open discussion on how do we get to this point of being rejection. Now, relationships, that's being rejected in a relationship when you're young, or mid-age, or over 50. It's different. When you're young, we handle rejection totally different in relationship sense. I mean, some of us got in our feelings. Some of us call the other person names. We just do some hateful things. We didn't know how to face and handle rejection in the dating sense when we're teenagers. Now you get in your 20s and 30s, you pretty much can get a bigger understanding when it comes to the relationship side of things on putting yourself out there where you don't get hurt. Now, when you get 50 and above, it's a little different. I've been noticing that with a lot of counterparts, male and female. I'm talking about them, talking to them and with them about dating in your 50s and living alone in your 50s and dating in your 50s. It's a huge discussion going on out there when it comes to this and facing rejection for people in their 50s and up. Because I think a lot of people in their 50s and up, they pretty much know the situation before they go into it anyway. You pretty much, your intuition kicks in. You kind of know, okay, I get a much better understanding of this now. Okay, now I see it. And I think we're more cautious now in relationships and dealing with rejection. Now, in a business sense, it can be a little tough, but you can't give up on your project, can't give up on your dream, your path. If you're going to do something, do it. And it comes with rejection. It comes with rejection. Nothing is easy. But I think we learn from that sense of being rejected on how to reapproach the situation if we get another shot at it, on how to come back to the meeting, on how to prepare to properly ask for a raise. Because not everybody gets a raise the first time they ask for it. I mean, think back to the days when you was a kid, when you tried to get more money for your allowance. If you grew up in a household that gave you allowance, you had to get the approach. Why do you need more money? What are you buying? You have parents that want to figure those things out as opposed to just giving you money. But being rejected on allowance as a kid, I mean, that's like one of the first stepping stones that you go through, the fear of rejection or dealing with rejection. And I've seen some people that are really, really afraid of rejection, where it like hurts them to the core, where it takes a couple of days, couple of weeks for them to resurface and rebound over the fear of rejection or dealing with rejection. But I'm curious to how you guys handle and deal with rejection in your workplace, in your personal life, in your lifestyle, in your financial situation. How do you deal with rejection? Do you read a passage? You put your favorite song on? You go to your favorite TV show? Do you put your favorite movie on and just lose it? Because a lot of people have gotten some very creative, therapeutic ways in dealing with things since COVID, whether it's music, whether it's dancing, a good walk, sounds of the ocean, just getting you in a very calming state. And a lot of people have found different avenues to go to that place when they're dealing with rejection. If you just tuning in, thank you so much. As always, I appreciate all the sponsors of the show. Really do. It means a lot. Hip, hip, hooray. I appreciate it for sure. Major League Baseball World Series. I'm enjoying this World Series for a different number of reasons. The matchup with the Rangers and the D-backs. And the D-backs have been here before, and so were the Rangers in 2011, but we know how that turned out here in St. Louis. We ended up winning that World Series. It was a very dramatic and memorable moment for Mr. David Freese and our beloved Cardinal Nation. But I feel a sense that I'm getting to show a little bit compassion for teams who don't win, haven't won before in franchise history. Listening to the stories, the path of these players, how long they've been trying to get to the show, the unusual path they took to make it to Major League Baseball, who was in the minor leagues the longest, the crazy injury some of these guys overcame this year. Bruce Bochy being back in the moment. I think it's his sixth team he's taken to the postseason. I mean, this is 6 different teams. And let's not forget what Dusty Baker did. All BS aside, that World Series sign stealing thing, okay. But Dusty finally got his. I like Dusty, what he did when he was with San Fran. He had a way and a calming method to deal with that team and to deal with Mr. Barry Bonds. But I like that. But this matchup in this World Series, the pitching, the home plate umpires in the World Series have not been consistent at all. That's a lot of the beef that they're getting on the interwebs out here dealing with that strike zone at home plate. I don't get why they have former Major League umpires as a side commentator to come in and comment on a controversial call in the game, and here it go the other way with the call as opposed to what's going on in the game. How does that make sense? He did the same thing. He doesn't see exactly what they see. So again, I'm trying to figure out exactly what is the acceptable training method now that Major League Baseball are doing in their major league umpiring schools. I've seen the increase. I've seen the increase in the commercial they did on MLB Network showing what Major League Baseball umpires in training go through. I saw the video. Okay. And I like how the younger umpires that are coming up, male and female, different races and nationalities, getting a shot to officiate some Major League Baseball games. I like that aspect of it, but I think the postseason, for sure, there can be areas in room for improvement on using instant replay. Can we get a universal strike zone? Can we all be on the same page with the strike zone? All those umpires, all those cameras, how they still miss calls. We don't expect you to be perfect, just be accountable. And that's what's happening. There's no accountability with these professional officials. Early part of NBA season right now. Look at the officiating. They letting them play one night, the next night they're not letting them play. They're letting them play this night, the next night they're not letting them play. We've heard the term several times: reviewable, not reviewable, reviewable, not reviewable. I'm confused on that sense. I've said it time and time again. If the television can show an instant replay, we're seeing it, but you can't let the officials see it to make the proper call. That's why I have the issue at right there with Major League Baseball and with the NFL for sure. Having that little issue, that little hiccup on that reviewable situation to the particular sports outfit that we have. But I'm liking the way the Rangers are coming out of this, the emotional talks they're having, the banter, how the fans are getting involved with it. I like it. I like what I'm seeing out of the Texas Rangers for sure in this matchup. But Arizona's no slouch either. They can sneak up on you at the wrong time or the right time. Even the other night when they were down 10-1 at some point, they didn't give up. They were not giving up. They were still battling. I like to see teams do that, not just lay down and take it. So hopefully we get a new sensation out of that matchup tonight. All right, we're going to take a short break here. Have a word from our sponsor, Mountain Man Scrub. Be right back with more Montez at midday.
Mountain Man Scrub. As smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
All right, good people, and welcome on back to the show. It is What It Do Wednesday. Clean up your house Wednesday. Get them leaves up out the yard. You can hustle up some money raking leaves. I'm telling you, that was a nice little hustle back in the day. When Coach Pat and I used to shovel snow and rake leaves when we grew up downtown in the projects. I'm telling you, that was some good money. Good money. I haven't seen a kid try or attempt to hustle money raking leaves. You can get your little issue on with them leaves, you really can. But what I really like about the fall season is the projects that we did in elementary school and middle school with the leaves and the different field trips you take, going to Botanical Garden, going to Tower Grove, going to Forest Park. It was just something about that, the fall field trip, just something about it. And the trees are looking damn good for sure. All right, if you're just tuning in, thanks a lot. We started off the show today with talking about dealing with rejection. How do you deal with rejection? Is it you get very therapeutic with it? You don't handle it well? You have a method to the madness in getting you through rejectional moments that you may encounter in your lifestyle, your job, your relationship, and your financial situation? Where is it at on how you deal with it? Next up, we talk about the Major League Baseball World Series. I don't think we're ever going to have a perfect officiated Major League Baseball game where all parties agree on the strike zone. There's going to be a little here, a little there, a little push, a little swagger. They've gotten better. I just wish they get better at their accountability. All right, next up, the NBA. As a Laker fan, I don't think we're going to win every game, but I like the way we've been competing so far in this short start to the season. But watching the game last night and listening to the commentating on halftime with TNT, you would think that Shaq, Charles Barkley, now Kenny and Ernie, they get it. But the way they're judging these rookies in Wembley, the way they just are just judging it, it takes time. Everybody can't adapt to the NBA lifestyle right away. That's a rookie out of college. It takes time. It takes time. These are collegiate athletes that are now pros in the NBA. These rookies out here, they're trying to learn the game of the NBA. They know how to play basketball, but they got to learn how to play basketball in the NBA, which is totally different than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You got the bigs, you got point centers, you got shooting guard centers. Everybody is all over the place. It's about hitting your mark and being in your spot in the NBA right now. Nobody's down low posting up the way they used to back in the day. And that's okay. The game must evolve. The game is evolving each and every year on how to get points on the board. Scoring is up in the NBA at alarming rate, as we can tell. But I guess the constructive criticism they're giving Wembley. Listen, we know he's skinny. We know he's tall. We know they're gonna pound him hard in the middle of the paint when he tries to go in the paint. They're gonna contest his shots. He's gonna contest their shots. We know that. Tim Duncan was the same size. Same knock on him. Don't have the body. Stephen Curry had the same problem. Don't have the body. Kevin Durant, same issue. Didn't have the body. All of these guys go through that. It's a maturation process. There is growth in the NBA. You get with your trainer, you get on a nutritional plan, a workout regimen, and it's going to come. It's going to be right there. But I think they're trying to rush the process of him way too fast. I mean, look at Chet. Chet was the same way with Oklahoma. He got injured. Was out for the season. But I like the weight that Chet put on. I think we're in for a show, definitely with these young bigs in the NBA. But can we please let them grow into the game of the NBA? Instead of saying right off the bat, hey, they're not ready for this game yet. They don't know how to play NBA basketball. It's not the same game as where they came from in college. In the NBA, you have a role. You have a spot you have to be at on that floor. Attention to detail. And it just seems to me that TNT, I say probably 3 times now, they've been really hard on these rookies that are playing. That they're always saying, well, he probably won't be in the league another 5 years. You can base that off of one game? But that was a wild game last night with the Spurs and the Phoenix Suns. That was a wild game. Wild game. I like watching the bigs work. I like the ones with the soft touch. I'm still trying to figure out what actually is going on throughout sports in these locker rooms. You got the Bears running back coach was fired for his behavior. What is going on? They had another coach who quit this year for the Bears. His house was allegedly raided. He's taking time off to deal with his family situation. Then we know what happened with the Vegas Raiders and Mr. Gruden. How can a franchise consistently mess the team up from the front office to the coaching? It's like they had a players-only meeting it was just the players with the Raiders last week. Allegedly had a players-only meeting, and they were in there just putting out their disappointment. Do you have to look like your coach in order to win? Does the coach have to like you in order to win? Must you be his guy? I'm confused on this. I'm really confused on what is going on. We got college football, cheating scandals, allegations, teams getting ripped off in the locker room. What happened last week in the world of sports? We had Flavor Flav singing the national anthem. What in the Josh Brown is going on out there? I think everybody need to take a chill pill. You look at the NFL, all these 3-5 teams and 3-4 teams and 1-7 teams. Who's going to come out of that and try to make a playoff push run? The Washington Commanders got rid of every damn body. Everybody got to go. Send my dude Montez Sweat to Chicago. Send Chase Young to San Fran. I like that San Fran move, though. I like that San Fran move. That's a good ordeal. That's a good ordeal right there. I like it. I think football's gonna get more exciting now as that competition is about to squeeze up and ease up a little bit, just about to ease its pain. I don't know the young man's name, but he posted a video on TikTok saying nobody watches the WNBA. And he wants to challenge the Vegas squad, the champions, to play a high school boys state championship team of his choice. And he will pay the WNBA players $1 million if they win. If they lose, they got to pay him $1 million. He's going to give the money to the high school basketball team. Is that fair, or has he been a sexist ass by saying that the WNBA, nobody watches it? He don't think the WNBA champion can be the boys' high school state basketball team of his choice. I don't agree with that. A few years ago at the Man Cave, the president, Jim, said he could beat Ronda Rousey. She's a UFC fighter. This woman is a trained fighter. He said, I don't give a damn. No woman whooping my ass. Okay, buddy. And he was, what, 60 at the time? 58? 58, I do believe. I don't know about this WNBA thing. Why we always got to put the women and the boys to play each other, to even out the playing field? Why must we do that? Why do they have to put themselves in a position to play a boys team to prove they're worthy of being in WNBA champions? I don't get that at all. I really don't. I want to see how far this goes. I know one of the WNBA players on the Vegas team responded, but I got to find it. I'm going to repost it and see what kind of traction or action that could possibly be getting for sure. Well, kids, boys, and girls, and children of all ages, thank you for tuning in to today's show. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. It is What It Do Wednesday. It's Way Back Wednesday. It's Lean Up and Lean Back Wednesday. Whatever you make it, we'll be posting another podcast episode today. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. Appreciate it. And this week is moving already too fast. All right, good folks. Thanks for tuning into today's show of Montez at midday. Same time, same bat channel tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to appreciate the details of the day. Thanks for listening. Peace.